Through 4 games here in the NLCS, neither team has yet to gain an edge. Series tied at 2 apiece as we begin today's episode. One more game at Coors Field until we finish off the series back in Atlanta. Would love to take advantage and get one more win in front of the hometown fans today. And of course, whoever wins Game 5 will have a chance to end the series off in this episode. As you can see, for the most part, these games have been very, very close, with the exception of Game 4, where Atlanta definitely outplayed our Rockies in that game throughout. We've got Neil Dorsey going against Strider here in this matchup. Two very good pitchers on the mound. We'll have to see which one can gain the advantage over the other. Top of the first, Dorsey versus Michael Harris, and snagged by Figueroa, covering the bag for out number 1 of the game. Marsh up next, Chopper. Kyle Brown hauls it in this time, and back-to-back groundouts start this game off. Cunha behind 0-2, and it's a 3-pitch strikeout for Dorsey there. Strong first inning. No Atlanta hits on the board as we head to our offense. Spencer Strider this year, 4.06 ERA, 1.32 whip. Certainly not bad, but maybe not the player he once was about 5 seasons ago. Still has some really good strikeout stuff, though, and shows it off there against Kyle Brown to start this game off. Rafael Murillo up to the plate, and it's a long ball from our superstar shortstop. 4th of the postseason for Murillo. Blasted this one 460 feet. Had himself a pretty good episode last time out, and starting things off with a bang here as well. Murillo gets the scoring started here in Game 5, and that's the thing with these strikeout pitchers with high velocity. If you can time them up right, there's a potential for a lot of home runs, and we've certainly been seeing a lot of home runs here in the NLCS so far. Dorsey climbing the ladder there and trying to connect on a very high fastball. Can't do it. So the 1 home run is all we get in the first. Right over the middle. Ozzy Albies can't locate the fastball. Second strikeout of the day for Dorsey. 2-2 pitch for Torkelson. Can't check his swing, and so he's striking out on the curve. Back-to-back strikeouts for Neil Diamond Dorsey. Now a win to Matt Olson, and he knocks this game up at 1 apiece. Does he have a home run in every game of this series so far? It certainly feels like it if he doesn't. I know he has at least 1 game of multiple home runs as well. 471 feet on that homer. This guy has certainly lived up to his reputation in this series as a big-time righty masher. Royce Lewis hitting .364 for the Braves in the postseason. Really good average for him. Herrera on the warning track hauls it in, and that'll end the second. Olsen tying this game up at 1 apiece. Both teams just the 1 hit so far as well. Zach Veen was the hero of last episode with that walk-off home run in the bottom of the 9th. Starts today with a strikeout. Salas hit deep to left field. Marsh giving chase, but he's not going to get it. There it is, over the wall for the second Colorado home run of the game. Salas was the only player in our 9-man starting lineup that did not have multiple home runs coming into this game, and he corrects that here. Now, everyone has at least 2 home runs for us in the postseason of our everyday starters. This has been a postseason run that has been heavily defined by the home run ball. Not super surprising, you know, when you factor in that it is Coors Field, and now it's back-to-back with Brian Doe following the Salas home run with one of his own. This one, 368 feet. And the Rockies are taking advantage of these Spencer Strider misses. He's getting some good strikeouts, but when he's missed, the Rockies are making him pay. The 4th home run of the postseason for Brian Doe. Had him start at center field because of his home run potential, and he's showing it off here so far. Omar Figueroa has the first non-home run hit of the day for a 2-out single. Brings up the top of the order in Kyle Brown. Hits it right at Torkelson at first base. He able to beat him to the bag there. One gone here, top of the 3rd, and Ignacio Alvarez will reach for Atlanta. Base knock to left field there will bring up the top of the Braves order, and Harris goes down swinging. Beautiful location on that 97-mile-an-hour fastball there, just outside. Close enough that Harris felt like he needed to protect. Far enough to make him miss. Marsh will fly out to left field to end the inning. So far, so good from Dorsey in this start. Clemente Herrera can't quite get that one to drop down. Cunha able to track it down. That'll bring up Murillo. Homered last time, and he's looking to get back on base here, and he's gonna do it. Acuna almost made the diving play out in right field, but couldn't quite haul it in. Dorsey strikes out for the 2nd time in this game. 4th K of the day for Strider. Bean squeaks this one through the infield. Past the diving glove of Torkelson. Now 2 on base for Colorado. Thompson up next. And he bring home a couple of runs. Gets one deep to left center field. It is off the wall. Thought for a second he had himself a homer, but still going to bring home 2 additional Rocky runs. Sterling Thompson been pretty quiet these last few episodes. Glad he decided to show up here and hauled in at the warning track to end the inning there, with 2 RBIs picked up by Thompson. In the bottom of the 3rd, Acuna, this one will get him a single off the glove of Thompson. Couldn't quite recover in time to beat Acuna's solid speed, and Albies follows that up with a strikeout. 5 today for Dorsey. Really good strikeout pace for him. Torkelson. This is deep to left field, and it is going to be a 2-run home run for the Atlanta first baseman. 5th home run of the postseason so far, and much like it has been really throughout these entire playoffs, particularly this series against the Braves, home runs galore on both sides. It's 5-3. You just can't make a mistake against either of these lineups. They're very similar in the fact that pretty much anybody can make you pay with one swing of the bat going deep. There's power all throughout both of these lineups, and it's been showcased very frequently here in the NLCS. Full count for Royce Lewis. Gets himself a free base, the first of the day allowed for Dorsey. 1-2 for Sean Murphy. He's swinging at the low changeup. Make that 6 Ks for Neil today. Ignacio Alvarez up, and he's swinging on the first pitch. Pop up to Kyle Brown, and we're out of the 4th. Got into a little bit of trouble there, but able to leave those 2 runners stranded. Figueroa, he's going to reach. Brandon Marsh can't haul in the grounder. Still just going to be a single for Omar, though. Top of the order back up. Kyle Brown, that's a base knock to center field. Michael Harris has shown off his arm in this series here. Won't get to test it this time around. Figueroa stays at second base. We'll count for Herrera, and maybe his first, non-productive game of this playoff run. Looking like it might be here. Acuna throws home a beautiful throw. Once again, Omar Figueroa not testing these strong Atlanta outfield arms. Full counts for the MVP, Neil Dorsey. 1-2 pitch. Inside, but he hit it well. Deep to right field. It is hauled in at the warning track. Dorsey, so close to a grand slam there. He really wanted it. Score will remain 3-5 as we head to the 5th here, and Michael Harris. It's his first hit of the day. Marsh hitless. He's trying to get under the hit column, but instead he grounds into the 4-6-3 double play. Started off by Kyle Brown here. Nice throw on the move to Murillo. Acuna got a pitch over the middle. Luckily for the Rockies, unable to square it up. Easily could have been a deep ball with a player of Acuna's caliber. Thompson thought he had himself a free base there. Instead, he's headed back to the dugout. Nice location there by Michael Daly. 2-0, Ethan Salas up to the plate, and the diving attempt from Royce Lewis won't beat the runner. 2-out single for Ethan. Ryan Doe has a homer in this game. Now has another chance to bring in a run with Salas stealing his way into scoring position. 1-1 pitch right at Royce Lewis. So nothing doing for the Rockies in the 5th. Dorsey still in the game in the 6th, and a very clean one at that. 6 innings, 3 runs allowed for Neil Dorsey. That would end his day. A really solid outing for him. Just struggled a bit in the 4th, but other than that, Dorsey has been awesome. Unfortunately, Rockies unable to add anything in the 6th either. Very quick inning on both sides here. Scoring has certainly slowed down in this game. Jeff Ramirez comes in to relieve Dorsey in the 7th. Starts things off with a strikeout of Royce Lewis. Murphy strikes out as well. Ramirez coming in and stumping some of these Atlanta batters. Murphy just way out ahead of that one. Alvarez up next. Not going to be striking out the side, but it is going to be an easy 1-2-3 inning. And for some reason, Logan Cerny has replaced Clemente Herrera in right field. I mean, Herrera hasn't had his best day today, but I don't know if we should have replaced him. Regardless, though, Neil Dorsey, the 1-out single here, gets his first hit of the day. Zach Veen behind him, swinging at the high fastball, and for some reason, we're sending Neil Dorsey with 14 speed to try and steal a base. I mean, might as well just give the Braves a free out. Following up with a strikeout there. And the inning's over just like that. Why are we sending Neil Dorsey on a steal attempt? Man, that's such a terrible decision. Rich Walsh comes in for the 8th, trying to keep the Rockies on top. It's certainly been up and down here in the postseason so far. Gets the first out there on a fly out to foul territory. Facing the top of the order here. And strikes out Brandon Marsh. Perhaps can Rich Walsh be the closer of the future? His good outings have been very good, and here we get a 1-2-3 inning from Rich. Rockies have an opportunity here to add a couple insurance runs before we have a chance to close game 5 out. Sterling Thompson reaches there on a single. But Salas, though, right to Royce Lewis. That's going to be a 5-4-3 double play. Maybe no insurance runs after all. Ryan Doe, 1 homer in this game. Looking for another, and he's hit it deep to center field. Harris back at the wall. Leaps, and he can't haul it in. It's a 2-home run game for Brian Doe. Brian, don't believe just how good he's been here in the postseason. After this game, Brian Doe would lead the Rockies not only in home runs, but in OPS. This entire lineup of players that has been playing so very well, and Brian Doe is on top, believe it or not. What an awesome player he's been, considering he just made his MLB debut less than 2 months ago. Tony Santillan comes out for the Rockies. Pretty much like the rest of our bullpen for the most part, has been up and down in this postseason. Would love to get a good inning out of him today. Facing off against Albies first, he gets him looking. 1 out down, 2 to go. Albies hitless today. That's certainly been a rarity. He's hit well for the Braves in this series. Spencer Torkelson up next. He going to be down on a line out to Logan Cerny. That'll bring up Matt Olson. 2 for 3 today. Has a home run. Been a big time problem for us all series long when facing off against right-handed pitching. He's the last out we need here. Santillan gets ahead of the count. 0-2. About to throw his 10th pitch here of the inning. So far been very efficient here. Fouling off the slider, the count remains 0-2. Rockies fans excited at the prospect of getting the final home victory of this series. Secure this win, and we could book a trip to the World Series in this episode. And Santillan gets him swiping at the slider inside. The Rockies win Game 5 and now have a chance to win the series. We just need to win 1 of 2 in Atlanta to finish off the Braves. The Rockies, 14 hits, 6 runs. Holding Atlanta to just 6 hits is by far the best we've been able to do so far in this series. Neil Dorsey with a really solid start, and then the bullpen behind him with a really strong effort. And, you know, for a postseason that's had really close games all the way until game 4, now have 2 straight games where there was, you know, a multi-run lead. So, will the Rockies finish off the Braves in game 6, or are we going to a winner takes all game 7? Based on how this series has played out, I gotta say I'm predicting an Atlanta Braves victory here. That's just been the way of every episode. Atlanta's 1-1, Rockies have 1-1 in the game 1 and 2 episode. Rockies 1-1, Atlanta 1-1 last episode. Rockies have 1-1 here. Can we actually get 2 wins in an episode? Chase Dollander will be on the mound. It's been a kind of tale of 2 players throughout his career. Can we get the pitcher that has good strikeouts per 9, that can truly be dominant at times, or do we get the guy who allows home runs far too frequently? Hoping we get the good Chase Dollander today in this one. Kyle Brown, a fly out to start the game. Herrera, hitless last time before being substituted, and starts his day with a walk this time around. Neil Dorsey. It's this one deep to right field. Harris and Acuna meeting at the wall, but it's over the top, and Dorsey gets his 5th home run, now tied with Brian Doe for the postseason lead for this Rockies team. Neil Dorsey, coming off a pretty good start last game, and now making an impact on the other side of the plate. You gotta love having a high-end two-way player like Neil Dorsey. It is incredibly fun to see this guy dominate. Zach Veen, full count pitch. It's on base here. The Rockies may not be done quite yet here in the first. Thompson, he crushes this pitch. It's the second 2-run home run of the inning for Colorado, and we're off to an explosive start here in game 6. Atlanta doesn't quite have the elevation of a Colorado, but they still have one of the top elevations in the league. And we've shown previously that this team doesn't need to be in Coors. Hit a bunch of home runs. Solid down swing, and that'll end the first for the Rockies. 4 runs on 3 hits. Chase Dollander, 5.5 ERA, but a sub-1 whip. That's a guy who's really his only struggle is home runs. Other than that, he's a very high-caliber pitcher. So if he can limit the home runs today, I feel very good about the Rockies' chances of coming away victorious. Misses one right over the middle, and Brandon Marsh hits it deep to center field. Brian Doe able to haul it in, doesn't quite have the carry to leave the park. Acuna up after him, and it's another fly out to Brian Doe. Doe now up to bats, and he is down looking. Second strikeout of the day for Manoah. Brown with a pop-up here. 2 outs in the inning, so nothing doing for the Rockies after a very productive first. Bottom 2 now. Dollander allows the leadoff single to Ozzie Albies. Looking to have a bounce-back game after a pretty quiet Game 5. Olsen down swinging at a pretty dangerous pitch there. He's crushed a pitch like that on more than one occasion here in this series. But ultimately, No harm, no foul. Just 1 hit allowed and no runs. Clemente Herrera, 2-2 pitch. He's going down swinging. Might just not be his episode. He deserves an episode off after how productive he's been so far in this postseason. Neil Dorsey. He's going to fly out to Michael Harris. Bottom 3 for Dolander. Sean Murphy, and that's another leadoff single allowed. A little bit of a problem getting the throw back in. But Murphy remains at first base. Alvarez after him, and that's another base knock. Back-to-back singles for Atlanta. They've got their first runner in scoring position. Top of the order back up. Michael Harris down on the curve. Nice strike 3 pitch there from Chase Dolander. Now 2 gone. Can Chase Dolander come out of this? Not allowing a run, and that's exactly what he does. It's like an easy scoring opportunity for Atlanta. Your 8 and 9 hitters both reach, but then able to get the top of the order out back to back to back. A beautiful rebound by Chase Dolander. Zach Veen on the 0-2 pitch. Gets it all the way back to that left field corner and slides in safely for an extra base hit. I haven't seen a ton of extra base hits in this series. It's usually singles or home runs or strikeouts, it feels like, in this series. Ground out to Ethan Salas there. That'll bring up Brian Doe, who, on the full count pitch, gets himself a free base. 5-0 Rockies now. And we've got Omar Figueroa, who is going to have to wait until the next inning to get his at-bat, with Brian Doe getting caught trying to steal a little bit too much of a lead. Torkelson down swinging. That's 5 strikeouts for Dolander. He's having himself an excellent start. And Matt Olson, of course he does, has to have a home run in every single episode, every single game. I mean, what is this guy's problem with us, man? We just got to have more lefty pitching, I guess. I think that's the only game he doesn't have a home run in this series, is when we started Devin Smeltzer. And I could be wrong on that. But 6 home runs, they might all be against the Rockies. That'll be all that Dolander will allow here in the 4th. But the shutout possibilities are now off the table. Rockies still, of course, with a pretty healthy lead as we head into the 5th. Figueroa gets things going with a strikeout. Clemente Herrera ends the inning off. A quiet one for the Rockies offense. 2-0 pitch to Sean Murphy. This one will drop right down in front of Clemente Herrera. Second time Murphy's got himself a leadoff single here. And Michael Harris down swinging. Dolander continues that excellent strikeout pace. Will allow his first walk here. So a couple of base runners once again. Pitch count into the mid-80s here with the full count to Ronald Acuna, but he's down looking for strike 3. 7 strikeouts through 5 innings. 1 run allowed. The Braves actually have 1 more hit than Colorado. We've just been bringing all of our hits home. Zach Veen with 2 gone. Hits this one deep, but it's caught on the warning track. The Rockies offense is slowed down to a halt here. Looks like the pitching will need to keep up their good play, and it's going to be Herb Reyes substituting in for Dolander. He was very good, just couldn't get through the innings very quickly. So unable to make it very deep in this game. Ozzy Albies able to get the leadoff hit off of Herb Reyes. And it's going to be a double. Torkelson up next. He's down, swinging at a changeup low. This one got a little bit too much played, and it's down for another extra base hit for Atlanta. That'll bring home run number 2. Herb Reyes has struggled all really postseason long with allowing base hits here. And Olsen, maybe not as good of a home run hitter against lefties, but still able to come through for his Brave squad here. 2 gone and a man in scoring position. Murphy, that'll be down for another hit for Atlanta. We got to get Herb Reyes out of here. His low hits per 9 and low pitcher clutch are killing us here. He's allowed more in this inning than Chase Dolander did all game, and almost got himself another base knock allowed there, but being able to get to it. Hope we don't see Herb Reyes back in the 7th. Thompson down looking at another strike 3. It's Kurt Kellenberger in for Atlanta now. 2-2 pitch for Ethan Salas. Cranks deep to right field. That is off the wall. Acuna, strong throw in. Salas is in for a 1-out double. A little bit more pressure now on the Rockies offense with a good inning from Atlanta. Brian Doe. He's coming through for the team. Picks up an RBI. 6-3 now the Rockies lead. This is what the final score was of our last game. Kyle Brown. Oh my. Brandon Marsh able to make the diving play. Thought we for sure had run number 7 there. What a play in left from Brandon Marsh. Acuna with 2 down here in the 7th. Able to reach base there. That one dropping right in front of Brian Doe. Can that spark a little bit of a run here for the Braves? Jeff Ramirez having himself a pretty good episode here. Didn't allow anything his last appearance. Won't allow anything here in the 7th. Good thing wasn't Herb Reyes. Murillo down looking here. Not a great game for him, but he was excellent last game. So I think I can forgive him. Neil Dorsey extends the Rocky lead to 7-3. Now taking the lead in postseason home runs on this Rockies squad. 438 feet. You're seeing exactly why this man was named the MVP of all of the NL this season. He brought it on the mound today, and he's bringing it at the plate as well. 2 home runs in the episode, and this is a guy who doesn't have a lot of energy. He just pitched last game out. Doing this on very low energy, a multi-home run game. A special talent the Rockies have in Neil Dorsey. And Thompson just can't catch a break. He's going down looking at all these borderline pitches here. The Rockies with a bit of a response here to the 2-run inning allowed by Herb Reyes. The lead is back up to 4, courtesy of MVP Neil Diamond Dorsey. Mario Lozano would come in the 8th for the Rockies. Nearly allowing an extra base hit there to Torkelson, but Brian Doe showcasing the speed. And he gets Royce Lewis on the changeup low and inside. A clean inning for Lozano. Omar Figueroa will go down for a quiet top of the 9th. The Rockies unable to add any extra insurance. But with the 8 and 9 hitters up, you have to hope that we can not blow a 4-run lead here in the bottom of the 9th. Andrew Moore will come out for the Rockies to try to seal the NLCS for Atlanta. Sean Murphy, 3 for 3 today. Been one of the more quiet offensive performers, I'd say, in the series so far, but not today. Trying to keep his Braves season alive. This one hit straight at Omar Figueroa. 1 out down, 2 to go. And Andrew Moore get it done. He was actually pretty solid when not asked to go well above his pitch, what he should pitch. That one game where he pitched 30 pitches was really his only bad outing so far. Does throw some serious heat, as you see there. That one clocks in at 100 miles an hour. Fouling off the 99-mile-an-hour fastball there is Alvarez. 1 for 3 today. Braves need him now more than ever. Missing on the high curveball. 2 strikes now. Can we get the strikeout here from Andrew Moore? Not quite yet. I want a bit too inside. The 2-2 pitch is in for strike 3. Alvarez could not protect there. Great location from Moore. And we just need one more out, but the top of the order for Atlanta is up, and it's been a very productive top of the order, I'll say, though not today for Michael Harris. Hasn't been his best episode, I'll just say that. Certainly had his moments in the NLCS, though, both on defense and at the plate. This one jammed inside. Herrera gives chase, and the Rockies are World Series bound, beating the Braves in 6. A team that, at least in my mind, was the most talented in all of baseball, but it doesn't matter. The Rockies come through and win the National League in 6 games. An extremely competitive series, but the Rockies just had the Braves number in today's episode. The bullpen was surprisingly excellent in these games, not allowing the Braves to go on these late game runs that we've seen in previous games. What a performance from this young draft-only Rockies squad. We're headed to the World Series and our first ever postseason run. And there it is. Officially, it will be the Rockies versus the Yankees in the 2029 World Series. And this team has proven that youth is no problem. I thought maybe we were a little bit too young, maybe a year away. Some weaknesses might come back to bite us this year. You know, not a ton of very strong bullpen arms, but we've been able to overcome the weaknesses of this roster. This offense has been lights out all postseason long. I mean, it's much harder to find somebody who isn't maybe outplaying their ratings on offense here in the postseason. Neil Dorsey has proven why he is this league's MVP. We've seen Clemente Herrera be an absolute star. We've seen Brian Doe, despite the fact that he made his debut in September, come out and maybe be the best offensive player in the postseason for us at this point. I mean, it was Clemente Herrera for a long time, and that 450 average is still insane, but those 5 home runs from Brian Doe with a high 300 average, that's got to be up there for one of our best players. Zach Veen has had awesome moments. I mean, even a guy who maybe hasn't been excellent in Omar Figueroa, he's had really big moments for us. Just an unbelievable run from this team, but it's not over yet. We have one opponent remaining It is the New York Yankees. Taking a look at this team, Shane Bieber is the best player on this roster. 33 years old, 95 overall. He's pitched 31 innings, has 30 strikeouts here in the postseason. Pretty good numbers there. Jose Alvarado is an upper tier closer. In 7 innings, has not allowed a run yet. So this is going to be somebody that's going to be tough to finish off games against. This team has been excellent finishing out games offensively in this postseason run. Going to have a harder time than we've had so far. We have not faced an elite closer, I would say, in this postseason run yet. Alvarado will give us that challenge. Big time addition in O'Neal Cruz. Absolutely crushes right-handed pitching, but not nearly as good against lefties. So we have just the one lefty in the rotation. We'll have to make sure we, of course, use him. Then they've got Kyle Bradish, Tristan McKenzie, 2 other starters in the 90s here. This team is not as talented, I would say, as the Braves. I honestly think that kind of this NLCS might have been the battle of the 2 best teams in baseball, but the Braves were better than us, and we beat them. So we can certainly be upset here by the Yankees. Aaron Judge, elite power threat of, at age 36, maybe not the player he once was, but still bringing it all the time. Had 50 home runs in 2026. This is the first year under 40 since 2024, and it was 39. So still an absolutely elite talent at the plate. Chase Hampton, 86. You got David Fry will start for them at third base. Another really good reliever in Hamilton. Not the depth that we saw from the Braves, but still a lot of top-end talent that they hope will carry them to victory over the Rockies. This is going to be an awesome series. I can't wait to get things started and try to play for the first World Series in Colorado Rocky history. What an awesome series against the Braves. Hope it's the first of many good series we see against them. That's all I've got for this episode. We'll be back soon to start the World Series, and I'll see you then. Go Rockies.